In the name of Allah, the most compassionate, the most merciful. Archaeologists have found something fascinating. Images of supernatural and mythical beings are everywhere in ancient temples and ruins. They often say, why search for these beings in museums? Look at the ancient monuments, carved and engraved for eternity. So, let's visit famous archaeological sites in search of these beings. Let's tour Persepolis, behold the Parthenon in Greece, and look at these strange Roman structures. Even though the Roman Empire came later, they were also deeply connected to talismans and these mysterious beings. It's interesting to note that the paths of ancient Greece and Rome were very different from that of ancient Iran. The Ishtar Gate of the Babylonian Empire is another powerful example, covered with images of these creatures. While these images aren't necessarily of gods, they show specific beings like the heavenly bull, similar to the Achaemenid bull, and dragons, which we'll see more of later. The fact that the same bull and dragon appear across different empires tells us they weren't just random myths. Moving to Far Eastern civilizations, we see animals depicted as temple guardians. At first glance, they look like animals, but we'll discover there's something more, often shown as half animal, half human, or even fully human. Now, look at this image. This is one of the oldest technologies from that era. On the left, you see a cylindrical seal. Artists carved a design into it, and by rolling it on wet clay, they created an impression. Think of it as the official stamp of the ancient world. And what did they choose to stamp? They wanted to show these very same weird creatures, making them part of everyday life. In this image, a man is standing on a fierce winged creature. Standing is a powerful gesture. It's a pose of absolute conquest, showing a total victory over a powerful and unwilling force. For ancient heroes and kings, controlling these forces was a primary goal. This idea of subduing beings from the world of Jinn is a theme we'll return to. In this museum's Assyrian section, from the region of Nineveh, we see two of these beings. We find these beings everywhere, in many forms. Some look completely human, others are half human, half animal. Why do they constantly change their appearance? What does this mean? These beings sometimes appear with different animal heads. For example, here is a statue of Hanuman, the monkey god, from India. Hanuman is a famous idol, a prominent god, and unfortunately, he was worshipped by many. Is it not profoundly shameful to worship a monkey? We also find hybrid beings in Mayan civilization, with human bodies and the heads of birds, presented as sacred gods and goddesses. The image on the right shows figures with a bull's head and a human body. The middle one is the mythical creature Pan, or satyr, from ancient Greece, with the legs of a goat. The image on the left is a bull goddess from ancient Egypt. In all, the theme is unshakable. Some forms are even stranger, like a creature with a body like an octopus, accompanied by two frogs. And this is a statue of Seth, one of the powerful gods of ancient Egypt. The father of Ramses the Great was named after this being, Seti. So far, we've been building a mental picture of these strange hybrid beings. Now we ask the big question. Why do we believe they were real, and not just the imagination or delusion of ancient humans? Many assume ancient people just imagined these creatures and placed animal heads on their bodies to symbolize power or wonder. But it's not that simple. When we ask if these were just fantasies, the evidence says no. The same beings, with identical traits, appear in completely different civilizations. Take the div monster, for example. This formidable creature is known all over the world, in various mythologies. In ancient Iran, in Ferdowsi's epic Shahnameh, the Book of Kings, this being is mentioned. Ancient Persian miniatures also depict this powerful being. In these images, these monstrous divs are carrying the court of Prophet Solomon and moving it through the sky. A key trait of divs in ancient Iranian stories is that they puff up or swell. It's believed that divs can inflate themselves like a balloon by breathing in. Then, by releasing the air, they move easily across great distances. In ancient Greece, in the story of the Odyssey, we meet another dangerous and savage div. In this mythological story, the one-eyed div, called Polyphemus, captures and eats humans. The story of Odysseus and Polyphemus is another encounter with the same archetype. We find divs in various ancient civilizations, all showing the same characteristics. Look at this div from Indonesia. It has a monkey-like face, large eyes, fangs, and a necklace of snakes. Why is a snake coiled around its neck like a necklace? Now here is the Indian mythical being Hiranyakashipu, who is killed by Narasimha, the fourth avatar of Vishnu. The so-called god takes the form of a man-lion, a hybrid himself, to destroy a hybrid demon. Another crucial example is the statue of Zervan, found in Mithraic temples. This being has a human body, a lion's head, and a snake coiled around it. Zervan, sometimes shown with wings, is known as the god of time. The god of time? What could that mean? A being who controls time, or one who exists outside of it? Now, pay close attention. What is this being standing on? He is standing on a globe. A snake is coiled around his body. Since the snake, in most of the world's cultures, is a symbol of Satan and the embodiment of the cursed Iblis, this image is like a declaration from Satan. He's announcing that he can bind the div, the strongest jinn on earth, and claim dominion over it. Standing on the globe says, "This is mine." It's a visual manifesto of his blatant, claimed authority over the entire world. This symbolism shows that there is conflict and strife among these beings themselves. Thus, the Jinn realm is not a united empire. It's a fractured hierarchy, a battlefield of rival factions. Now look at this image on the left. This is a dwarf div from ancient Egypt, called Bes. He was considered a god of music, play, and fertility. Despite his looks, he was one of the great jinn gods of Egypt. In discussions of ancient Egypt, we will see that the power of magic and asceticism was what mattered, not size or height. A large statue of Bes, made in Cyprus, stands at the entrance of the main hall in the Istanbul Museum. In this statue, Bes is tearing a ram apart. This raises a question. What interpretation can be drawn from this statue of him tearing a ram in two? This image indicates that the div is hunting this earthly animal. The concept of this statue means that the div had a physical body and needed to hunt for food. This shatters the notion that they were purely spiritual or ethereal. It places them squarely in the physical world, as predators. Therefore, one cannot say that they only had a metaphysical and non-material influence. Rather, at a specific time, they had physical, earthly bodies, lived on the material earth, and needed food and hunting. This moves them from the realm of ghosts into the realm of biology and ecology. Here we see divs as guardians or gods at the Grand Palace in Bangkok, the capital of Thailand. They have strange faces, shaped by local culture, but they represent the same being. In the past, all ancient structures were full of the presence of this jinn being. In Hollywood, they have also frequently depicted this creature. You have surely seen the film Shrek, where a div is the hero of the story. In Monsters, Inc. 2, the div is the main character of the film, portrayed very positively, cute and sweet. But the most accurate visual representation of the div is seen in the film Star Wars. It seems the creators of these science fiction stories were aware of the ancient images and copied them faithfully. Next to the main character in the film, there is a div who is very tall. He accompanies the hero of the story and only growls. This being is named Wookiee, Chewbacca, depicted with a human body and a lion's head. That's him, on the left. This role was played by the actor Peter Mayhew. In other films like The Lord of the Rings, beings such as trolls are also displayed. In these movies, divs are portrayed as beings with limited intellect, but great physical strength. This consistent portrayal suggests that the jinn world itself has a hierarchy of different kinds. So, did the same being truly exist across all these civilizations? Let's answer this fundamental question by using the synergy of archaeological and paleontological discoveries. In paleontology, a small anthropomorphic statue, half human, half animal, made of ivory, was discovered in the Alpine region of Germany. This is one of the oldest statues ever discovered, displaying a human body and a lion's head. Researchers are still puzzled why early humans made it. It's not from an advanced civilization, but from the dawn of humanity itself. This statue dates back 35,000 to 40,000 years to the era of early humans or primitive hominids. Its age and strange shape astonish scientists, who think it might have been used for worship. A similar being exists in ancient Egypt, Sekhmet, a dangerous creature with a woman's body and a lioness's head. She was also seen as a bringer of apocalypse and a ruler of the end of times. In ancient Egypt, Sekhmet was known as a divine executioner. The guilty were brought to her to be torn apart. Many statues of her exist, including at the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York. In Mesopotamia, this same hybrid being with a human body and a lion's head appears on amulets. Amulets are small tablets inscribed with talismanic spells, carried for protection against magic and the evil forces of the jinn. Even today, in many countries, people use these types of talismans. But it must be said that the evil of talismans must be countered with divine powers. These two amulets are from the Neo-Assyrian Empire, used against a being named Lamassu or Lamashtu, around 800 to 500 BC. Please look at the image on the right. You will observe that the main character is riding a horse. Two animals are attacking him, and he is also holding two snakes with his hands. These amulets show that people took practical, daily measures to protect themselves from these forces. Also, on Sumerian and Assyrian tablets in the British Museum, we see an armed being with a lion's head and a human body. Museums are filled with such amulets, portraying ancient humanity's fear of these evil forces. On the other hand, we have the Epic of Gilgamesh, humanity's oldest written story. Gilgamesh himself was a hero, something between a jinn and a human. Gilgamesh, who is probably the one on the left, after going through many events, reaches a character named Utnapishtim, who claims to have been saved from the flood. Utnapishtim seems to be a different version of the true story of Prophet Noah, peace be upon him. Early in the story, Gilgamesh and his friend Enkidu fight a div named Humbaba. Gilgamesh and Enkidu also kill the heavenly bull and have other strange adventures. This reinforces our understanding of the unseen realm of the jinn. In Japan, there were divs called Gyaki demons. On the left, a div carries a lantern. On the right, a legendary hero has subdued a division. Here too, we see heroes standing on a div, showing their mastery over the strongest jinn. The Japanese Gyaki complete our global picture. From the Far East to the Middle East, the story is the same. Heroes rise to confront these dangerous entities. This forces us to reconsider ancient idolatry. It may not have been mere superstition, but a complex interaction with a perceived reality, a reality inhabited by powerful, non-human intelligences that demanded subordination. We will see that in ancient times, humans were compelled to worship the jinn.